I'd like to share a quote from Michelle Obama about the power of education, and that is the ability to read, write, analyze, the confidence to stand up and demand justice and equality, the qualifications and connections to get your, oh, I got a white wine too, I'm double-fisted. Thank you. This is a celebration indeed, my favorite kind. So back to Michelle Obama. The qualifications and connections to get your foot in the door and to take your seat at the table, it all starts with education. We also acknowledge our generous event sponsors and our MTI boards of trustees. You'll see behind me the names and logos of our sponsors on the video screen. They're on the sponsor boards, they're in your program, and they're on their table signs as well. It's very important to us that we celebrate this partnership as we break down barriers and disincentives to achieving higher education. We are incredibly grateful to all who have supported us for many years, allowing us to achieve even greater heights and to educate a stronger workforce, which is critical to our nation's safety, security, and economic viability. This evening, we welcome 4 new sponsors: the American Road and Transportation Builders Association, better known as ARTBA, Cubic, INSCO, and Tri-Delta Transit. Thank you for joining our ranks of sponsors. We look forward to a very long engagement with you into the future. But not only are we thankful for these new partnerships, and we are extraordinarily grateful to those who have been with us for years, and sometimes even decades, such as our dear friend, William Hedaya, from WMH Corporation. Thank you, William. It's wonderful to be with you this evening. Your support directly impacts the future of transportation by breaking down those financial barriers I mentioned previously. And just so you know, we have one of the most affordable master's degree in the nation. For just under $12,750, you too can earn your master's degree in 2 years, taking 1 class per quarter. So think about it. And this is incredibly critical because, as we know, transportation touches all of our lives and it's the backbone of our society. So on behalf of the MTI Board of Trustees and staff, I'd like to warmly welcome and thank AECOM, our title sponsor of this evening, and our many donors, patrons, and benefactors. Together, and I need a tiny drum roll here, we raised $134,000 in sponsorships, and all of the proceeds directly support higher education. That's a new goal. That's the height so far in our 31 years, so thank you for making that possible. We also want to thank HNTB for their sponsorship of the brand new HNTB Spark Scholarship. This will pay half of the cost of the entire tuition for someone, I see that smile, to earn their Master's of Science in Transportation Management degree. This scholarship was designed to financially support and increase opportunities for students from historically underserved and underrepresented communities, thus empowering the next generation of transportation leaders. And it's with great honor and a little emotion that I announce the inaugural Spark Scholarship winner, Sonia Johnson. Sonia, please stand up. All right. Now, if you're really ready to applaud, listen to her background. She's worked at BART as an electrical helper for several years and is noted by one of the BART colleagues who recommended her for this scholarship. She is an extraordinary hard worker who's demonstrated resilience and fortitude since her very first day on the job. Sonia is a survivor, and it was only after 1 year in her position that her colleagues learned that she had become a widow 3 days prior to beginning her job. Undaunted, she persevered despite such hardship and grief, raising her family, and she's joined this evening by her daughter, Soroya. She remains one of BART's most dedicated employees. Sonia, you're an inspiration, and thank you so much for your dedication to this field and for setting an example of grace and perseverance for all with whom you've worked. We really look forward to watching your career trajectory and celebrating you at this same event a couple of years from now. So thank you, HNTB. Graduates and award winners, your contributions are critically important to our community, our state, and our nation. And as evidence of that, we have the pleasure of being joined by 5 elected officials. Please start to make your way up, who wanted to be here to celebrate your success. First off, we're going to hear just a few words from State Senator Dave Cortese, who represents District 15. Dave is a friend to many, and he's certainly no stranger to this event, having joined us for many, many years. Dave?
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Dr. Philbrick. First of all, a round of applause for Dr. Philbrick. Talk about someone who literally keeps the trains running on time. And I guarantee you this program will be on time, and I'm not going to mess it up because I know that. Let me just say a couple of things very quickly. Welcome to Senate District 15. Welcome, Mr. Secretary, to my Senate district. It's been a joy working with the Secretary, not just in terms of all of the things all of you work on, but his emphasis on equity and the work he's been doing to try to streamline state investments. We've had a chance to work hand in hand on that, and I'm sure you're in for a big treat in terms of his comments today. Great to see David Mineta here. Thank you for joining in again and again in the legacy of your family and your family's work around transportation, particularly your father. To all the graduates, congratulations. That's what we're really here for. I can't think of a better endeavor and a better place for you to be doing what you're doing, stepping up to invest in one of the places where there's probably been as much self-help and innovation in terms of investment in transportation as anywhere else in the state of California. Will Kempton, congratulations to you. I know you're going to be recognized today by the State Senate and others for your decades, 50 years of service, and I just want to say thank you very much for everything you've done for the people of this area, but the people of the state of California at large. And with that, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. It's always good to see you. It's always a pleasure. Next, I'd like to invite a dedicated Rotarian intent on community and international service and the mayor of San Jose, Mr. Matt Mahan. He's joined by City Council members Dev Davis, representing District 6, as well as Sergio Jimenez, representing District 2.
And we're wearing the same dress.
Well, good evening, everyone. You know, I've lost my voice, which it turns out is one of the hazards of the job, I've just learned. But it's great to be here with you all this evening. For those of you who traveled from out of town, welcome to downtown San Jose. If I struggle to get through my brief comments, I'll turn it over to Councilmember Dev Davis or Councilmember Sergio Jimenez. We're very happy to be here this evening to welcome you all and really just to say that we are so proud to have the Mineta Transportation Institute here in our city. It is truly one of the crown jewels of our university and therefore of the city of San Jose. Under Dr. Karen Philbrick's leadership, the Institute has graduated hundreds of students out into the world to make our transportation systems run better to serve our community, to make them more effective, more efficient, more sustainable. And you know, on that last point, I know all of us worried about transit. It's been a tough, really tough few years, but we have to stay the course, because if our state is going to grow and be economically competitive, we can't always do it the way we've done it. We're going to have to lean in through this difficult period to get our transit systems through them so that they are there as we continue to grow and scale. So we're just really proud to be here, grateful to the Institute for all of the work that you do. I also want to shout out the Secretary on that point about transit and just transportation in general. Secretary Omashakin has been an incredible advocate and a great partner to the city of San Jose. So thank you, Secretary, for your work. So thank you again, everyone. Have a great evening.
And Councilmember Deb, I love your dress. It looks identical to mine in a different color. That's funny. Next, I'd like to welcome District 3 Supervisor and a dear friend, Cindy Chavez. Not only is she a San Jose State University alum, she's a tireless advocate for women's rights and a dear friend. Cindy. Well, thank you so much, and welcome, welcome, welcome to Santa Clara County. For those of you who know and love this place, you know we are 2 million strong, that we became, San Jose, one of the first large cities in the country to be a majority of no single ethnicity, that we are blessed with incredible leadership, like that of former Congress member, Secretary Norman Y. Mineta. Many of us in this room are reflecting on him tonight. And one of the things that made me reflect on this as I came in is that we're really here to celebrate the graduation of this incredible institute. And as I was standing by the door, I heard a mother say to her son, "This is Daddy's party." And I thought, that is exactly right. That is exactly what tonight is. And we're here to say how very, very proud we are of all of you and all of our graduates. Let me just wrap up with this one point. When we think about what's happening in our community now and our nation relative to transportation, it also got me thinking about each of you. And Karen, you are so amazing. You know, Rod Dearden, who came before you, so amazing. And that frankly, as we're here tonight, that we really are thanking each and every one of you for building bridges to jobs, to healthcare, to the future, to family, to really leading an effort in the green movement. And that green movement means that in transportation and in those jobs, that is the best way we could possibly make sure that we have a sustainable future financially, health-wise, and every other way. And San Jose used to be the most mobile large city in the country, and what that actually meant was that you could go to a school in the east side of San Jose and end up in a C-suite. That happens when we can help people move from point A to point B. That is what you do, and our future really rests on your continued leadership. So to the graduates, no pressure. But we're counting on you to continue to change the world. Thank you.
District 3 Supervisor Otto Lee is up next, but I'd like to thank you, sir, for your years of dedicated service to our military. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Philbrick. My name is Otto Lee. I also serve from the Board of Supervisors along with my colleague here, Cindy Chavez. And it's truly a personal joy and honor to join you this evening's banquet to celebrate these MSTM graduates in 23 and award winners, and of course also our Will Kempton's 50th year of transportation. Besides recognizing the good work of the Board of Trustees and continuing work for the MTI and outstanding leader of organization, we're certainly very excited to see our keynote speaker, our California Secretary of State Transportation, talk on the shotgun. Thank you. And just recently, I also recorded a video about our most beloved Norm Mineta, reflecting his work and service. And just want to share a personal story. About a decade ago, when he was serving as Secretary of Transportation, I was boarding a flight at of course, the Mineta Airport right here in San Jose, flying to DC, and walking to the back, the economy section where I was supposed to be seated, and right in front of the economy section, sitting there was Norm and Danny. And I was like, wow, so great to see you both. And I was so surprised because here's the Secretary of Transportation on my flight, on the economy, not the other section. And better yet, I realized this is really good news. My flight will be on time. But during the flight, later on I see, people lining up to go to the bathroom at the very back, and here he is, Norm, lining up like everybody else. And you could just see how humble he really is as a public servant and such a role model. We certainly really miss him. He was such a trailblazer, a mentor, friend, and a legend, obviously. This evening, we're also celebrating another legend, an innovator in transportation, who we are celebrating 50 years of dedicated service, Will Kempton. And I'm truly honored to have Supervisor Chavez to present a commendation from our County of Santa Clara to celebrate Will.
Will, come on up.
Will, come on up. Don't be shy. Well, you have been a champion for transportation from the local level, including here in Santa Clara County as our former Executive Director of Traffic Authority, to your work across the state of California and beyond. And I would like to just briefly read from the commendation. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors in the County of Santa Clara hereby commend and vote Kimpton for his valuable public service and contribution to the field of transportation and public service, and for his dedication to improve the quality of life of the residents of Santa Clara County and beyond.
All right, thank you to all of our elected officials who work so tirelessly to support our community and all of our other initiatives. We have several other dignitaries joining us this evening that I'd like to recognize, but this is going to be hard. I ask that you hold your applause until I announce them all, because everybody deserves rich applause in their own rights, but we have a schedule to keep. So, joining us, council member and VTA board member Margaret A. Koga from Mountain View. And if you just raise your hand as I announce you, that would be perfect. The Honorable Rod Dearden Sr., the founding executive director of the Mineta Transportation Institute and a former Santa Clara County supervisor. As many of you know, Rod built this program up from the bottom to where it's at today. He's a terrific mentor, a terrific friend, and he's known as the father of transit in Silicon Valley. Rod, thank you. And he's joined this evening by his wife, Gloria Duffy, the CEO and president of the California Commonwealth Club. We also have the Honorable Jim Bell, former California State Senator and chair of the Committee on Transportation and Housing. He's also an SJSU alum, go Spartans, and the author, very importantly, of California Senate Bill 1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017. That does deserve a round of applause in its own right. As we all know, this provides critical resources for transportation in the state, but very importantly, it also supports university research and workforce development in the area of surface transportation. And the Mineta Transportation Institute, with SB1 funding, is pleased to lead the California State University Transportation Consortium, which unifies and focuses the efforts of the 23 CSU campuses, which compose the largest four-year public university in the nation. We also are joined by Dr. Mohammed Abu Salem, Vice President of Research and Innovation for San Jose State University and the President of the Research Foundation Board of Directors. It's his first time here, so please be sure to stop by and say hello to him. Wait, we had to hold the applause. We also have AC Transit Board members, Christian Peoples, who's been with us on a number of occasions, Diane Shaw, there you are, and Sarah Syed. Thank you so much. We are also joined by several transit agency CEOs, including April Chan, General Manager and CEO of SanTrans, Carolyn Ganot, CEO and General Manager of Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority, better known as VTA, and Rashidi Barnes, who we'll be hearing from a little bit later, who's the new CEO of Tri-Delta Transit. He's also an alum of the MSTM program, and when I talk about keeping it all in the family, he is joined by his 4-year-old son, who blew the train whistle, his wife, and his mother. So we've got 3 generations here supporting the transportation future. We're also very honored with the presence of Dr. Sachi Oshima, Chairman and President of Allied Telesis Holdings, John Risto, the Director of the San Jose Department of Transportation. Okay, gotta have a little bit. David Kim, the former Secretary of CalSTA and a current Senior VP with WSP, and just voted on today at the board meeting an incoming trustee for the term beginning July 1st. It's so hard not to clap, I know. We have Leslie Rogers, former Regional Administrator for the Federal Transit Administration, and a dear friend of the Institute that's always there to support and uplift us. I also want to thank and acknowledge our commencement speaker, who's already been discussed a few times tonight, and that's CalSTAS Secretary Tokso Mashakin, who's also our newest Mineta Leadership Fellow. By way of background, the Mineta Leadership Fellows Program showcases influential leaders in transportation discussing their leadership philosophies, the challenges they faced, and how they've successfully built strong, inclusive teams by achieving consensus based on shared values and a vision for the future. And of course, he'll be delivering the commencement address, so I'm very excited for those words of wisdom. I would now like to invite any other elected or appointed official whom I have not mentioned by name to also stand so we can thank you for your leadership. Oh, good, no one's standing. I got you all. Oh, Miles. All right, Miles. There you go. Okay. I now ask the members of the Mineta Transportation Institute Board of Trustees, each of whom is an industry thought leader who's dedicated their life to improving mobility for all in an equitable and innovative way, to stand and be recognized. All right. I thank each and every one of you for your leadership, very importantly, your strategic advice and your unwavering support to the success of this institute. And now we're going to take a moment to recognize the leadership of our outgoing chair, Mr. Will Kempton, who we've heard a little bit about tonight. And it's my pleasure to invite MTI Board of Trustees Vice Chair, Jeff Morales, to the stage, along with MTI's founding executive director, Rod Diridon, to bestow the next award. Both of these individuals are close personal friends of Will in a personal setting and a business setting, so take it away.
Thank you, Karen. I'm very pleased to be here to honor Will, both for his service to the Institute and for his long history of service to California and transportation. It's not an overstatement to say that there are very few people who have left an imprint on transportation here in California that comes close to matching what Will has done over the years. He's been an advocate, a leader, and an innovator in all of his roles, and he's worked at multiple levels in both the public and the private sectors. He's held positions up and down the state, and even was a lobbyist for a while, and survived that. When you look at the long list of jobs that and roles that Will has played over the years, one thing becomes very clear: he can't hold a job. But the list of his roles and accomplishments are too long to lay out in detail, so I'm just going to hit a few of the highlights. He started his career at Caltrans way back in 1973, and for those of you who may be math challenged, that's 50 years ago. And I think we have... There we go. There he is. And what you can see is the mustache has also had 50 years of service, Will. So I won't even say what you look like there, Will, but anyway, that was great. Will, as was mentioned earlier, Will was at the forefront of the self-help county movement in California, serving as the first executive director here in Santa Clara. And then he played the same role years later in Orange County at the OCTA, where he oversaw transit and highway programs there. He's been the executive director of the California Transportation Commission, and he led the California Transportation Foundation, which recently awarded him with the first Lifetime Achievement Award. Will also may hold a record for the most retirements, but also the most coming out of retirement to take on new responsibilities. And one of his, maybe his most lasting legacy is the work that he did in advocating for what became SB 1, because that funding will be around forever, basically supporting California, and of course was put through with the tremendous leadership of our great friend Jim Bell. Will's role here at MTI really says a lot about him. He not only has served on the board for 15 years, I believe it is, but over the course of that time, while holding down all those other jobs, he also served as an instructor. And I can attest from our time on the board together that Will is always very focused on the students and what he can do to help advance them and advance the cause of transportation. So today, Will and I are in a bit of a role reversal. Back in 2004, he succeeded me as Caltrans director, where he cleaned up my messes for 5 years. And now I get to succeed him as chair of the board here and get to build on all of his great work. And so Will is now shifting his transportation focus mostly to bike riding with Beverly, I think, and good luck with that, Will, but thank you for everything you've done, and Rod would like to join in and share some things.
I have only a couple of comments, and I'm very lightly touched on a moment ago was the fact that he began the self-help programs, and it was stemmed from the county having approved the local tax to build our freeway system out. And in the early 70s, I happened to be on the Board of Supervisors, and was it Zoe Lofgren and I hired you, Will, and I think we did a good thing there. But at that time, everybody was saying that's the end of a good career, because he had 10 years to build one freeway from scratch and to expand 2 other highways that were in terrible condition into full freeways with some interchanges and so on. 10 years. And he said he was going to do it. And he delivered on that. Can you imagine that happening now? He came in under budget with the full program within the 10-year time frame. And I think that set the stage for a career that has set new horizons all the way through. One last comment, something nobody knows about. He's a star football player. Now wait a minute, look at him. He's a great big hulking guy. He's played on a flag football team in Sacramento County for how many years, Will? A long time. He began as the star quarterback, then he became the end, then he became a blocking back. More recently, I think he was a blocker. He said, just can't run as fast as he used to. But that tells you, this guy is tenacious. He can do anything he wants to do, and you better not be in his way. Will, congratulations. Thank you for spending time with MTI, and good luck in the next round.
So, Will, if you'd come up, we have a little token to add to your collection, as well as a very nice state Senate resolution honoring your time, as well, that Senator Dave Cortese sponsored.
Well, that was just amazing. I have to say one thing. Let's not forget why we're here tonight, which is to congratulate the graduates of the MSTM program. I did have the privilege of serving as an instructor for 5 or 6 years or so, and so it's one of the wonderful things that you can do when you meet students, former students, that come up and say, we really enjoyed your class. I can't believe how a class on transportation funding and finance could be enjoyable, but they have been, the students have been very complimentary. When we first walked in, came in tonight, we were sitting over in the corner with my son Mark Kempton, who's here, and who did we see walk in but David and Stu Mineta. And we had a nice 10-minute conversation with the two of you, and it's so wonderful. And I did get approval from the powers that be for you to attend our next early arrival dinner next year. So That's a wonderful thing. I want to tell you, Rod and Zoe Lofgren, and the people that I encountered here in Santa Clara County, Dave Cortese and others, it's just been a great experience working with these people over the years. And Rod is Mr. Transit with respect to the projects that have been built in this area, and he's never given up. And he grew up in Dunsmuir, California, which was a railroad town, and he carried that forward in his career. Zoe is still serving this area in the Congress, and she's a wonderful person, and I really enjoyed my work here in Santa Clara County. I do have to say that working with MTI and the Institute's Board of Directors has been a real experience for me. Number one, the staff has been outstanding. They are terrific. Karen and her staff have just done a tremendous amount of work to advance what Norm and Rod initially put together. It's just been a great experience for me. And then I would also be remiss if I did not recognize my fellow board members. It's been a pleasure serving with just a distinguished group of people, and so I'm very honored to receive this recognition. Thank you.
But wait, I have one more prize for you, and probably the best one of all, your favorite mega stuffed Oreos. I love the lessons you taught me about that. Yes.
So I have a new grandson who is 2.5 years old, and his parents hate me because I have introduced him to Oreo double stuffs, or these are mega stuffs. This is even better, and he loves them. And every time he comes over to my house, first thing he says is, "Where are the Oreos?"
I like to get to know my board members because I think emotional connection is very important to achieve all of your goals. And so I learned lessons about life from all of them and about how to eat Oreos properly. So thank you for that, Will. We're turning now from this joyous celebration of our past leaders to commemorate with heavy hearts MTI trustee Taki Oshima, who is a dedicated board member and a personal friend of our founder, Norman Y. Mineta, and an all-around wonderful, warm person whose remarkable contributions will remain with us long after his passing. He passed at the end of last year, but he will always leave an imprint on our hearts and on the Institute itself. In fact, he made a very generous gift to the Institute, and we rededicated our National Center of Transportation Security as the Allied Telesis National Transportation Security Center, and he laid the seed work for all of our work in cybersecurity. And to commemorate him and to talk about the joy he filled us all with, it's my pleasure to invite Norm's son, Dave Mineta, to the stage. And of course, he is joined by Stu, one of Norm's other sons as well. Dave is the president and CEO of Momentum for Health. He's also an SJSU alum, so go Spartans. And he's an outstanding advocate and member of our community. And he's going to tell us a little bit about Taki's leadership and legacy. Dave.
Thank you so much, Karen, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to a wonderful, this is always such a warm event. Good to see old friends. Great to, congratulate all the graduates and see the family members and just to see the future really in the room of public transit. It's so exciting. So tonight, I just have to say what an honor it is for me and Stu to be here, to be able to introduce and thank Taki's daughters and really recognize Taki. In our household, when you talk about Taki, this is hallowed ground in our family. Became hallowed ground last year when he passed. And Dad and Taki were best friends, and they were kindred spirits in the world. They were good, kind, decent men who cared about cared about their families, they cared about their colleagues, they cared about the world, and they were of the world. So one of the things that Karen just did with Will and outed him on the double stuffed Oreos is one of the things about Taki is that not only was he's the founder of Allied Telesis, an amazing engineer and businessman, but he is also probably maybe one of the world's most renowned experts on Japanese whiskey. And it was remarkable that this man, you talk to him, and all of a sudden you talk to him about Japanese whiskey, and his eyes would light up even more. And to know that he had probably one of the largest collections of Japanese whiskey in the entire world. So just another thing that rounded him out, again, as an amazing friend, leader, founder of this amazing Silicon Valley company, and again, great friend to Dad and to Denny. So with that, we would love to invite our friends Sachi and Michelle, actually both up, to receive this award.
I am completely speechless. My sister and I, it is such an absolute honor to be here tonight and to be able to spend time with Secretary Mineta's, sons is beyond amazing. And the things that they had said about my father, I so appreciate. My sister and I so appreciate. Secretary Mineta held a very, very special place in our father's heart. So definitely family. But anyway, getting back to this, so my sister and I were very, very honored to be here. And to have this award presented to our father, and just to celebrate him in this way, it means so much. We know he would have been absolutely thrilled, embarrassed, but absolutely thrilled by this attention. He was a man of integrity. He was a man of determination, who was driven by the relentless pursuit of excellence in everything that he did. He believed in the potential of innovative networking solutions to advance the field of transportation. He really believed in that very deeply. He felt that the Mineta Transportation Institute and its mission was so important to him. So on behalf of our family, our sincerest thanks to the Mineta Transportation Institute. This is an incredible honor to be here tonight, and we're absolutely humbled by this recognition. So, my father and Secretary Mineta were like brothers, and although they are no longer with us, I know they're both looking down right now having a blast. But, their spirits will live on in future generations and inspiring future generations. So to all the graduates and award winners tonight, congratulations on your accomplishments. And may your achievements serve as a reminder of the importance of perseverance and always having the pursuit of excellence. So thank you so much. Thank you, Stu. Thank you, Dave. This means so much. So thank you.
Thank you. I think as we remember our founder and our trustee Takeo Shima, we should be reminded to be present in this moment. This moment is our life, and we need to communicate with meaning and connect with emotion and make sure that we listen with intention. I think too often people are waiting for another person's lips to stop moving while they rehearse what they want to say next, and that prevents true intimacy and connection. And so we never know when our last moment is going to be. So let's be mindful together. Now let's move on to something exciting now. It's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker of the evening. With great enthusiasm, I invite CalSTA Secretary Tokso Mashakin to the stage. As many of you know, Secretary Omashakin was appointed to his position as the head of the California State Transportation Agency by Governor Newsom in February of 2022. And prior to holding this position, he was the director of Caltrans, where he oversaw a $17 billion budget and nearly 22,000 employees. His transportation vision for California features a safe, equitable, sustainable, and multimodal transportation system that builds on strong local partnerships and collaborations. Little known fact, he recently earned his PhD in engineering management while raising a family, while being the highest ranking transportation professional in the state of California. He also holds a master's degree in urban and regional planning. And beyond his remarkable achievements, our esteemed speaker, as many of you know, possesses the extraordinary ability to connect with our hearts and with our minds. He is the true embodiment of success, resilience, and visionary leadership. And now he's going to take it away to deliver the commencement address.
Vice President Abu Salam, Dr. Philbrick, Mayor, Senator, other elected officials in the room, Mr. Dirdon, Dave and Stuart Mineta, the Oshiyama family, graduates, family members, distinguished guests, and fellow Board of Trustee members, good evening. It is a true honor to be here tonight at such an important ceremony. Your Masters of Science in Transportation Management commencement. Yeah. A well-deserved congratulations to each of you this evening. And just as important, a special congratulations to your families for their support and sacrifices along the way. They unquestionably have been an important piece in helping you reach your goals, including that of this momentous day. So please give your family, friends, loved ones a hand as well. So I'm grateful to be here with all of you tonight, not only to witness this pivotal day for you, but beyond humbled as well for the opportunity to share a few thoughts with you. And I'm going to leave you with 4 things that I'm hoping all of you will remember tonight. This moment is big, it's enormous. But why is it so big? Why is this moment so important? To me, this ceremony represents so much more than another level of education attainment. The magnitude of the line of work you've chosen already tells me, it tells the world, something about each and every one of you. You want to do more than earn a living. You want to make a difference. You want to impact people. First, right now, there's something I'm hoping all the graduates can do. If you're sitting next to a fellow graduate, if they're on your left or your right, look at them, smile at them. If a graduate is sitting next to you, give them a fist bump. Be careful, don't punch anybody. I said fist bump. I'm saying that because each and every one of you, you just signed up to continue to make people's lives better. That's what this today is about. A step into making people's lives better. By virtue of you continuing in this people-centric field, these classmates you're looking at will help to improve lives through valuable, vital results implemented by each and every one of you. What can be more meaningful than making a difference in people's lives? I struggle to come up with an answer to that. Graduates, so much hard work has brought you to where you are today. Right here, receiving this great recognition you've earned through your intense efforts and sacrifice. And alongside those efforts lies your passion and drive to apply yourself in such a way that aims to leave an important mark. As you know, working in transportation encompasses a wide range of areas, touching people's lives, and I'm thrilled you've chosen to embrace this role even more. Transportation is one of those unique career paths you can choose that truly affects people's lives in one way or another each and every single day. And today's ceremony marks the end of the long and important road you've traveled to get here. But point number one that I want to make to you is that it is not the finish line. This is not the finish line. The enormous accomplishment of your master's degree and tonight's celebration actually established the beginning of another important road you will traverse, and another, and another. You are about to participate in your very own relay race, with one baton after another being passed to you, and ultimately, you passing it on as well to somebody else. This relay race is a particularly meaningful one, and the landscape you'll be running on will vary greatly from baton to baton. Some tracks or roads will be short, some winding, some exciting, some exhausting, and some incredibly fulfilling. And I suggest you view the obstacles and the roadblocks ahead as challenges that will help you grow. Because we all know you grow through what you go through. Point number two, as you navigate the roads moving forward, clutching your valuable batons, your career in transportation will be consistently shaped by a powerful, living, breathing foundation built on what really brings you to this relay race. What brings you here? Your why. Your why. Your why is your North Star. It's your compass of sorts. Intricately linked to your why, also your decisions. And if your why is big enough, then you can accomplish anyhow. It's your formal education we're celebrating tonight, and that provides an invaluable foundation essential to your success. But decision-making is a crucial skill set that, though not directly taught in the classroom, will be an instrumental component as you move forward in your transportation careers. I can't emphasize enough, the results of your career will be directed by your why and the decisions you make around it. I know it sounds a little dramatic. Similar to you, I have faced many small and critical decisions along the way to today. Decisions in my personal life, my family life, and my professional life. And there comes a time when you face the fork in the road moments, when you must make a decision on which way to go. What's worked for me? Taking the right path. Not the easy path, the challenging one. The path less worn. The path you can't see all the way through. The stairs you can't see all the way up. In doing this, in taking that path, you're promised one thing, growth. You will grow, the people you serve will grow, for it's the very reason I stand before you today. In 2017, as Dr. Philbrick mentioned, I decided to go back to school and get a doctorate, a PhD. Fast forward 2 years later, after I started that program at the University of Tennessee, an incredible opportunity, a new governor elected in California in 2019, and an opportunity to come serve and work at Caltrans. Have 2 young kids, the J's, I call them, my wife, Julie, I decided to jump at the incredible opportunity to move 2,500 miles away from Tennessee to come to California and take on this responsibility to serve amongst the 22,000 people at Caltrans. Fast forward 6 months after I started in that responsibility, the world completely turned on its head. COVID hit, racial unrest, the economy tanked. We were losing 1 million jobs a month at some point in the state, in just the state, 1 million jobs a month. And there were other challenges. The worst wildfire season in the history of the state under my tenure. We were burning millions of acres a year. More acres were being burned than the actual size of states in this country. That's how bad it was. So what do you do when you're in this moment? Your family's not with you. Your plan was to go home and see them, twice a month if possible, and all of a sudden the world turns on its head. You can't see them. Everything's on fire. Racial unrest, the inequities in this country, in the state, were glaring. What do you do? What do you do? You become centered. You have to become centered. Your why. Why were you doing this in the first place? That has to be at the center of how we approach all of this work. From the moment we wake up, every single day, we all make decisions, lots of them, of varying impact. But oftentimes, we do this on autopilot. So I want to present all of you a necessary challenge moving forward. Do not move casually into your decisions. The work you will be privileged to do comes with massive responsibility. Through strong and intentional decision-making, you can put yourself in a position to make the biggest difference and enhance the life-improving work you will be doing on behalf of other people. One of author Stephen Covey's highly effective habits is to begin with the end in mind. This emphasizes the importance of knowing foremost and intimately what your goals are and what incremental steps are needed to get there. I urge you, for every decision placed before you, those that may seem small and those that steal your sleep, that you stop and think about your why. Why you initially chose this line of work, and why you've worked so hard at MTI to make a difference through transportation. Your why and your decisions are intertwined, and they must be in lockstep with one another. Continue to listen closely to your instincts throughout your career. Usually, when faced with a tough decision, we already know the answer. Pay attention to that voice. Pause and question if you're being true to yourself and true to your why. Robert Frost eloquently conveyed this concept in his poem, The Road Not Taken. He said, "Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that's made all the difference." Making the right decisions at the right time matters and is integral to successful outcomes. So, I'm so excited for all of you. On the roadmap of your career, there will be achievements as well as obstacles, discoveries as well as setbacks, elation as well as tears. And it's your decision-making that will thread through all of them. I hope you will consider it a true privilege when you experience these highs as well as these lows, because this means you're participating in putting forth effort as you move forward along your many divergent paths. Number 3, always know that even though your decisions are yours to make, you are not a solo act. Some decisions will be made on your own, and many will be collaborative in partnership. The importance of partnership. You will frequently realize the importance of giving and receiving assistance, as partnering and connecting with others is an inherent and critical component of transportation efforts and life in general. Aim for these partnerships these relationships to not be transactional, but in full committed service to a cause and mankind. Fourth and final, remember, one of the most important parts of your resume, your CV, your bio, your LinkedIn, or whatever it's called today, is very often omitted. It's where you fell short. You missed the mark. You failed, or life dealt you a tough hand unexpectedly. These moments are important because from them, you all sit here today, bursting through another major milestone. Though you may not note these shortcomings publicly, please never forget them. Use them. For if you didn't have them, you couldn't accomplish today, or even the many feats that lay ahead. You missed, but you got up, you moved forward, stronger. Know these misses are coming. They're gonna happen. But be unabashed. Move with good intentions and faith. Know that it will all ultimately work out for good. As I said in the beginning, this moment is big. It is significant. I may be biased, but I can think of no better purpose to direct your Mineta Transportation Institute education and knowledge, your energy, and of course, your enthusiasm to people. There are many critical transportation-related issues facing us today, and we need you. Issues around AI, artificial intelligence. How do we sustain and grow transit? Public health, the environment, safety, equity, just to name a few. We need you. We need you. All opportunities are open. Embrace this honor you have to serve others and make decisions on behalf of people. Decisions that matter in life-altering ways. The transportation industry is lucky, is fortunate to have all of you. To all of you graduates, a warm welcome to a new and exciting level in the transportation space. My sincerest gratitude for all the blood, sweat, and tears I know it took to get to today. And in advance, a heartfelt thank you for all the bold decisions, accomplishments, and life-changing differences you will make that will ripple through generations to come as you run your leg of this relay. You have unlimited number of batons waiting for you to grip tightly and deliberately. Again, graduates, congratulations. I look forward to the rest of the ceremony. Thank you very much.
Clearly, we are honored with his presence and touched by his words of wisdom. Come to my side here, please. Thank you so much for joining us, and as a very small token of appreciation on behalf of the trustees, we want to thank you for giving such a powerful commencement address, for leading the way forward in our state, and for serving as a trustee with distinction. Thank you so much. That was amazing, really remarkable. Thank you so much. I know I will carry those words with me for quite some time, and I'm quite confident many of our graduates will as well. And with that, I'd like to invite our graduates to assemble in the hallway where we present our next award. So it's almost time. And don't worry, we're right on schedule. I don't want anybody to think we're behind here. But it's now my pleasure to introduce the winning team of our 2023 Garrett Morgan Sustainable Transportation Competition for middle school students. Each year, to introduce middle school students to careers in this transport sector, MTI sponsors this event, which is one of our most critical legacy workforce development activities. This competition was instituted by former Secretary of Transportation Rodney Slater, who incidentally will be joining our board on July 1st. So we're very pleased with his legacy, legacy presence. MTI, under the leadership of Rod Diridon, has been hosting this competition every year since 2001, and we've had over 1,300 students participate. Now, we honor Garrett Morgan, who is the son of enslaved parents with only an early elementary school education, went on to become a trailblazing inventor. As many of the trustees have heard me say before, he is best known for the modern three-way traffic signal, but he also has the patent on the gas mask as well as the sewing machine. And so we put mentors into the classroom to work with these students on these incredible and innovative projects. And this year, and if our winning students can start making their way up here, that would be great. This year, our winning team is made up of 4 students from Fremont Unified School District, and 2 of them are here to say a few words to you tonight. This is the future. These are our middle school winners. Yay! They created the Road 2.0 project, which proposed a dynamic solution for the big issue of congestion during commuting. This project combined technological innovations, well-established research, teamwork, and creativity, and we're going to hear in their own words about what this experience was like for them. So we have Kedar Nanat, Arun Kumar, and Aryan Bachu to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aryan. We are a team representing Hopkins Junior High School in Fremont, California. We created this team because of our shared passion for STEM and innovation. Our team is so excited and honored to be here today and to have reached this level in the competition. My teammate Kedar is here with me today. Unfortunately, my teammates Pratyush and Shreya could not make it. But now I'll pass it on to my teammate Kedar.
Thank you, Aryan. Today I will be explaining the problem statement and origin of our idea, Road 2.0. Our solution from last year only fixed highways with congestion. That solution was introducing smart bollards, which would regulate highway traffic. This year we realized that our solution would not be helpful to less congested roads. As a result, we decided to provide a solution for people who wanted to drive faster and drive in electric cars. Our origin for this was that charging stations were always occupied and always had a wait time. The second problem we encountered was a simple one but had many solutions and could affect our whole project. How could drivers know that the bollards were going up or going down, and what form of communication would be necessary? The solution to the first problem is that we would place wireless charging pads along highly congested roads. This would allow for a clean alternative where the bollards are not feasible. Our solution to the second problem is that we will put computer chips and sensors in the bollards. This will allow for bollard to autonomous car communication. This enables multiple opportunities like law enforcement or transportation companies to be able to block off parts of our roads. This would increase autonomous car communication, which would increase the safety of the person in these autonomous cars. Now I will pass it on to my teammate Aryan.
Thank you, Kedar. We wouldn't be here without the help of Caltrans and the MTI. We got feedback from Dr. Niket Abhyantar, a scientist from Berkeley Labs. We would also like to thank Dr. Karen Philbrick from the MTI, Mr. Alfonso Miles from Caltrans, and Mr. Diridon. When we participated in this competition, we learned a lot about the transportation field. This program gave us a new perspective on autonomous transportation efficiencies. It also added to our knowledge about autonomous communication and renewable sources. We both can say that we are now very interested in transportation and hope to improve it in future years. This STEM-based program gives us the opportunity to focus on sustainable transportation. We used core values and to collaborate on research, brainstorming innovative solutions. We are very grateful for this opportunity to expand our creativity, and we are very thankful for everyone who helped us get here. Thank you.
Wow. I think I'll just say that. I'm speechless, which happens very regularly, but I think we're in very good hands for the future. And they get this really cool plaque for taking first place and a $1,000 check.
This is not the real thing, but
The real thing is coming. Thank you both so much. You did an outstanding job. Go ahead and take your seat.